Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the IndieZone. This is Kathy. An issue that was raised in this case is that the state of Idaho, sometime back, specifically on May 23rd, 2023, served certain discovery requesting that if Mr. Kohberger intended to raise what's called an alibi defense, that he provide the state with notice of that defense. And the statute in Idaho explains what must be disclosed. Now, the defense thereafter filed a response on which the state of Idaho felt was non-compliant and filed a motion to compel, asking that the court order Mr. Kohberger to either submit a proper and fully compliant alibi defense or be barred from raising one at trial. Now, what is an alibi defense? First and foremost, it must be noted that no defendant can ever be compelled by operation of the Constitution to be a witness against himself or herself. So it is not required that anyone raise any sort of a defense, much less a defense based on an alibi, but it can be a very powerful tool if used properly. If, for example, a state is charging someone with serious crimes that happened on New Year's Eve, and if the defendant was not in the vicinity of where the crimes occurred, but was out of the country or was in the hospital, evidence of being out of the country or in the hospital could be very powerful. Bringing forward the doctor who cared for that defendant, or a person who knows that the defendant was out of the country. But that's what an alibi defense in Idaho requires, that you produce the names of witnesses. There has not been anything said in quite a while about the alibi defense, but there's still a motion to compel that is sitting out there that has not been heard. It was never heard by Judge prior to change of venue, and it has not been heard as of yet. Caveat being, there are hearings that are set to occur on motions to compel by operation of the order that the court entered October of 2024 after change of venue. Judge Hippler said January 23rd, possibly going into January 24th, is not just the time for motions to suppress, it's also the time for motions to compel to be entertained by the court. So time will tell. We're waiting for the scheduling order to come out for the 23rd of January. It will be interesting to see if the state's motion to compel the alibi defense is listed to be entertained at oral argument by Judge Hippler. If you have any comments, any feedback regarding the same, please let me know. And also, if you're interested in all of the filings that have to do with the alibi defense, my podcast on the Idaho 4 case includes several episodes that you can listen to right here on YouTube under the section where I have the podcast listed, or you can go to one of the other platforms where the podcast is also located. Spotify, which is the home base, Listen Notes, which has a really powerful search engine. If there's something like alibi that you want to look up, it will pull up all of the episodes that deal with alibi defense. and we'll tell you where to go on the docket to find them. Also on Apple, I believe it has a search engine as well. It's on Amazon and a few other platforms. If you'd like to listen to the nuts and bolts of what each of the filings have to do, go to the podcast and then you can pull up the filings for yourself. This is Kathy. Thank you as always for joining us here today.